Hey there, crafty friends. My name's Misty and welcome to Gleespen Designs. If you're new here, let me know down in the comments. I would love to say hi. And if you've been here before, welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be making some Dollar Tree DIY home decor that are super easy and budget friendly. And I love how they all turned out. And I also have a special unboxing at the end of the video. If you like tiered tray or even just home decor in general, you definitely want to stick around because this is something you're not going to want to miss. So without further ado, let's get crafting. For this DIY, I'm using this Easter sign that I got from Dollar Tree, obviously around Easter time. You do not have to have this exact sign. You do want one that has the border around it if you want the same end result, but you do not have to have this exact sign. All I did was remove that Bunny Trail Farms piece in the center, and then I'm just using my Cricut spatula to kind of pop the outer frame around the picture off. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. I just kind of had to get the spatula underneath it, and then I just kind of slid it down like a butter knife, and they all did pop off fairly easily. Once you have all the border or trim popped off, you want to make sure there's no paper showing on the other side that's going to get in the way when you glue it down and make it uneven. So I just flipped it around and took off the hanger. You can leave the hanger on if you would like to, and then just use the other side, but just peel off the pink paper or whatever image is on your front, and you can use this as a hanging piece. I just wanted to prop mine up, and I'm actually going to be using the back side as my front. So I did sand that down once I removed the staples, because you can sometimes have a little bit of like a raised area when you remove the staples. But now I'm just bringing out the Dollar Tree calendar. This is the 2023 Farmers Market calendar, and look at all these gorgeous prints, you guys. I love this calendar. It's probably one of my for sure top favorites out of all the new Dollar Tree calendars. I do apologize if my voice keeps going in and out. Our whole house is kind of getting over a cold right now. So for this DIY, I'm using, I believe it's the August page, and it is the Sunflower Our Happy Place page. And you want to be mindful of the holes at the top and of the two B's at least. I wanted them on my piece, so I laid it down, and when I was happy with it, I just took my fingers and kind of creased it so that I knew that's where I wanted to lay it back down. And then I just took some Mod Podge. This is actually a little bit watered down. I was running out of Mod Podge, and I knew that this would work just as well because it was very, very little water. But I do want to just let you guys know that there is a little bit of water in it. So after I put a nice thin layer over it, I let it dry for a few minutes, and then I lay the calendar page on top so that it's nice and tacky a little bit. And I did have to kind of move it really quickly because I just did not like the placing. And then once I was happy, I used my Cricut roller to just kind of smooth out any bubbles or wrinkles. And just a little tip, make sure when you're adding the Mod Podge, you really get it on all of the edges nice and thick so you don't have to go back like I did and relay it back down. So once everything was glued down, I used my sandpaper just to go through and sand off those edges. And if your Mod Podge is still wet, make sure you sand down at least. You do not want to sand up because it will pull your image up. Once I had the calendar page all glued on, I went ahead and started working on the trim, and all I did was use some antiquing wax to kind of darken this brown up. I felt it just looked cheap and just kind of an ugly color, so I used the antiquing wax to just add a nice, real even thin coat right over top. I didn't worry about wiping it off or anything. I just wanted to darken these pieces up a little bit. Once the antiquing wax was dry, I used white Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the color Linen White, and I just started distressing these pieces quite a bit. You do not have to do this at all. You do not have to distress. If you do not like to distress, you do not have to. So, and if you like it even more distressed than I did, by all means, distress the heck out of that thing. So I did this step to all 4 of these trim pieces. Once they were distressed to my liking, I started adding hot glue to the bottom piece first, and then I placed it onto the backing down at the bottom. Then I started working on the top piece. Now, I would recommend doing the bottom piece first, then gluing both the side pieces down, whether it be one side then the other, or you can do both at one time, that's fine too. But do the bottom, then do the sides, then do the top, because this piece here was just a little bit snug to get back in, so I just would recommend doing it the way I said, not the way I did here. Once you have all 4 of those pieces back in place, this DIY is done, and this only cost $2.50 to make, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling.
So for this DIY, you'll need one of those good old orange styrofoam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I pulled out the tag, and then I pulled out the stem that's just stuck on a toothpick and pushed into the pumpkin, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut a hole at least by like an inch by an inch. You want to make sure the hole is large enough to push the fabric down into, but you do not want the hole to be too large. Of course, you could use whatever fabric you would like, but I will obviously be using this beautiful sunflower print from Dollar Tree, and of course I cut right through the thing when I was trying to take the sticker off, but it was okay in the end because it really did not matter. So I'm going to unfold the fabric, and then I'm just going to place the pumpkin right in the center. And I'm going to start where I made that cut because I want to make sure that is hidden. And all you're going to do is start folding the fabric up and pushing it down inside of that hole that you cut into the top of the pumpkin. Now, I do want to make sure that I do make it clear that I did not come up with this. This is not my idea. This is something that I have seen over probably 100 times on YouTube. You guys have probably all seen it done as well, but I have never made a sunflower one, so I definitely wanted to put that sunflower fabric to work. If it does get hard to start pushing the fabric down inside, you can use your scissors to just push it right in, and it really kind of gets it nice and tight, and look how great that looks. Next, I grabbed a stick out of my backyard, I sanitized it, and then I just broke it down to the size that I wanted it to be and pushed it down into the hole that's at the top of the pumpkin as well. You could use whatever you would like for your pumpkin's stem. I chose this stick because I just thought it was cute. For the bow, I'm going to be using this really neat mesh tube ribbon from Dollar Tree. It reminds me of those finger traps that I used to put my finger in when I was a kid and I could not get my fingers out. But either way, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make this really neat funky bow. So I'm going to spread my fingers out and hold the tube ribbon in my hand so that there is a tail, and then I just start wrapping it around my hand about 5 or 6 times. You can do more or less depending on how many loops you would like. Now take the end of your ribbon, place it through your fingers to the back of your hand, and as you can see by doing that, you create that loop there. Now you take the end of the ribbon, place it through the loop, and pull. This is such a quick and easy bow that you can do with all different types of ribbon, jute twine, macrame cord, thin ribbon, thick ribbon, and it's great because they all turn out different because you're using different styles of ribbon, and you can make as many loops as you would like. Then with just like any other bow, you fluff out your loops, make sure they're all in the right position where you want them to be at, and then you can cut the tails down. I used my hot glue gun and added a little bit of hot glue onto the back of the bow and then just glued it right onto my pumpkin at the bottom of the stick. Because this is kind of a mesh tubing, it doesn't really lay perfectly flat, so I just added a little bit of hot glue onto each one of the tails and then glued it down onto the pumpkin. I'm not sure if these are new to you guys, these little sunflowers. They are definitely new to me this year. Let me know down in the comments if these are new to you guys, or maybe I'm just now finally getting them into my store, which does happen quite often. So I just popped off one of these little tiny sunflowers and the greenery, then I glued the sunflower back to the greenery, and then I'm just going to kind of glue it right to the center of the bow. Once you have the sunflower glued in place, this is another quick and easy DIY, and I love the way this turned out.
With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I love it.
Okay, I have to start out with saying this DIY is so stinking cute. Again, it's super easy, but it is just so adorable. For quite some time now, I have been able to find these broom-looking fragrance thingies. They're like a potpourri type thing, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I'm not sure. But let me tell you, this says this smells like apple orchard, and they were not lying. It smells phenomenal. However, to me, they just looked like the end of a broom, so I cut off the hanger, grabbed another stick out of my yard, made sure it was nice and clean and sanitized, and I used some Gorilla Glue, hot glue, to glue the stick and the broom bottom together. Now, of course, the hot glue alone is not going to hold this, at least for very long, so I used some of the floral tape. You can get floral tape at Dollar Tree. This might even be the Dollar Tree floral tape. I'm not sure. I have a few rolls, so I just don't want to say something and be wrong. However, you can get floral tape from Dollar Tree. And as you can see, I just spun it a good like maybe inch or two wide down here at the bottom, just so that it was nice and secure. Once I had it nice and wrapped and made sure it was not going anywhere, bending or anything like that, I used my black chalk paint and I went ahead and painted that floral tape down at the bottom, as well as the stick, so that it all looked like one piece. Once I had the end of the broom all painted black, I used this really pretty gold ribbon. I'm not sure where I got it from, you guys. I apologize. I believe it was like in one of those random boxes of ribbons that you can find every once in a while at Dollar Tree. And I just made another bow like I did with that tube ribbon, just on a smaller scale. And all I did to do that was hold my fingers closer together when I wrapped the ribbon around my fingers. And I added another one of those cute little sunflowers to the center of the bow, glued it down here at the bottom by our broom bottom, and this DIY is done, and oh my goodness, it is so stinking cute. I think this would be perfect for a tiered tray as well. You could cut down the handle if you would like, if you think the handle's too long, but I just can't get over this, and it would be a really cute like Etsy shop item or even an item for a flea market, but I love this and it is just such a quick and easy DIY. Oh, and let's not forget to mention, it is making my house smell amazing.
You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on.
For this DIY, I bought this tray from Dollar General for $1.25. Now, normally they're $5 when you buy them like right now for the fall seasons. I've seen them for every season and holiday so far this year. Normally, like I said, they're $5, but if you do get them on an off season, you can get the previous season obviously for cheaper. Once again, I'm using this sunflower print fabric from Dollar Tree. I place it into the bottom of the tray upside down so that when I use my pencil to mark where I need to cut the fabric, you will not see those marks when I glue the fabric down into the bottom of the tray. So I just kind of push the fabric out, make sure that it is nice and stretched out, and then I take my pencil and just trace along the side where I need to cut the fabric. Once the bottom of the tray was traced out, I just used my scissors to cut that rectangle piece of fabric out, and before I laid the fabric down, I did change my mind and want to lighten this tray up a little bit. And by lighten, I wanted to make a faux white stain because I love the way this turns out. Like, I've used the white faux stain technique quite a few times, and I think white stain is just gorgeous in general. And look at that, you guys. Look how pretty. And all you have to do is mix some paint with water, and you just stain it like you would any other normal stain. Use a paintbrush to apply it, and then you can wipe it off with a paper towel, a rag, whatever you would like. I did not worry about staining the bottom of the tray where the fabric is going to be, but I did stain the sides and the bottom of the actual tray. And look at that. Look how pretty that is. It really takes that like yellow-ish color out and just makes it so like light and airy looking. I just love this. Once all the sides were dry from the stain, I went ahead and used my Mod Podge again, and that watered down Mod Podge, at least. You could totally, by all means, use normal Mod Podge. This does not matter. So once I had the Mod Podge down, and you do want to make sure you pay special attention to the corners and the edges, just like with anything else that you would Mod Podge. After I had that even coat laid out, I did make sure that I let the Mod Podge dry for just a few minutes so that it gets nice and tacky before I place the fabric down inside. And I just do that by kind of sliding it right into place, you guys. The easiest way that I have found to get the fabric nice and flat is to kind of grab at the corners and just place the corners where they all need to be, and then go along all of the edges and make sure all of it's nice and flat. Once I had it nice and flat, I went back in with the Mod Podge and placed a coat right over top of the fabric so that it stays in place and does not come up anytime soon, and I will have this gorgeous tray for a very long time. Okay, bear with me on this next part. You might think I'm crazy. So I wanted some darker jute twine, and I did not have any, so I used some antiquing wax, placed it onto a paper towel, and just started kind of smearing it into the jute twine, and it worked great, you guys. So I had to leave this next clip in because it was just the cutest thing ever. Our new kitten decided to jump up on my craft table, and of course I'm like, no, because I didn't want him to get the stain or wax or whatever all over his paws. But that is our new kitten, and you guys, we actually need a name for him. He does not have a name, and we cannot figure one out for the life of us. So next I did go ahead and take that jute twine that I used, the antiquing wax. I know we're past that point because I'm talking about the new cat, but I wrapped it, as you guys could see, around the handles, and then I used one of those little brushes again to just take some antiquing wax and do some distressing, and that was it. Another quick and easy DIY.
I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay?
For this DIY, I'm using these house-shaped decor pieces from Dollar Tree. They have this like weird styrofoam flower on it. So I pulled that right off, and these leaves were not the easiest to come off. So the easiest way that I found to do this was I used my heat gun. You could also use a blow dryer. Place that on there for a few minutes so that it loosens that glue up, and then I just used my Cricut scraper to kind of scrape that right off. And then I sand down the houses. I did this step to 4 of those Dollar Tree houses, and then I painted them all with this Krylon Chalky Finish spray paint. Yes, I know you guys are probably getting tired of the bamboo sticks, but you guys, they are so convenient. I'm sorry. They just come in hand so much. So I wanted to use the bamboo sticks, which you guys already know. I have them linked in the bio. They are on my Amazon store, and I use a faux stain technique to stain them this dark black color. And I again use paint and water to make that stain. And now I'm going to use those bamboo sticks to make trim on the houses. So that's why I needed the bamboo pieces, because let me tell you, they're perfect for any type of trim on any type of little houses or signs. So many great uses. I laid the bamboo sticks down onto the house where I wanted them to kind of lay, and then I used my pencil to just mark where I needed to cut and used my scissors to make all of those cuts. These bamboo sticks cut super easy. You do not need anything special to cut them. The dullest of scissors will pretty much cut these things. And once I had them cut, I used some hot glue to just simply glue them right into place, forming the roof of the house. I did the same steps and add little roofs onto all of the other 3 houses. I was going to use my Cricut for this next step, but I wanted to make sure I found out a way to do this without using a Cricut, because I know not everyone has a Cricut. So I wanted this to be fair so that everyone could make it. Eventually, I'm sure there will be projects where I will use my Cricut, but for this one, I did not find a need to, because there is a very easy way that you do not have to use a Cricut to do this project. So I'm using the poster stickers from Dollar Tree. They're perfect. They are a perfect size. And I use the H, the M, and the E. We will be skipping the O for something special. I placed the letters right onto the houses. You can use Mod Podge and place a nice layer over top so that they're nice and secure. Once again, I did not have very much Mod Podge, and what I did have was kind of watered down, and I did not want to ruin the letters. For the O, I found these really neat floor and wall decals. Floor, I have no idea why you would put pumpkins and leaves and sunflowers on your floor, but yeah. Anyways, I actually thought these were window clings when I first bought them, but they are super sticky on the other side. Like, you do not need Mod Podge. You can definitely put Mod Podge if you would like to, but for this sunflower, you definitely do not need it. So I used that for the O and placed it right onto the center of our house. Look how adorable those houses are. You could use these just like that and place them onto a shelf, but I actually wanted to turn them into a shelf. So I'm using 2 of these 15-inch boards from Dollar Tree, and I used that same black faux stain to stain these as well. So you might have actually seen some tumbling tower blocks on my desk. I thought I was going to use those for this next step, but I'm using these brackets that I got off of Amazon. I will have them linked down in the description box. They are great and they were perfect for this, and a lot more sturdy than some tumbling tower blocks would be. Now, because this Dollar Tree wood is so thin, I didn't want to screw this in any type of way or on in any type of way. So I just used some E6000 and some Gorilla Glue hot glue so that it had a really good strong hold, and I just glued these brackets right onto the 2 pieces of wood. Once the brackets are glued onto either end of the pieces of wood, you now have this nice little shelf, and you can add your houses if you would like by gluing them or even just setting them on top so that you could take them down or rearrange them whenever you would like. I, however, wanted them to stay in place, so I used some E6000 and again the Gorilla Glue hot glue sticks, which again, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you guys know I always have those linked down in my description box. The glue sticks, the hot glue gun, things like that are always there. So all I did was place these down. My head got in the way a few times, so I had to kind of cut it there, but yeah, there you guys go. Look how cute that is. I Love this. Make sure it's nice and secure. You could place things on top of it if you would like. You could leave it just blank so that you could see the home really well. I love this shelf and I think it turned out so cute. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite project was out of today's projects. Hey friends, thank you so much for sticking around. A wonderful lady named Kendra reached out to me. She's the owner of the Tiered Tray Decor box. I might have been stalking them on Instagram for quite some time now, so I knew all about the Tiered Tray box subscription. So when she asked me if I would do a review of the August box, I absolutely jumped to the opportunity. So the Tiered Tray Decor box is a monthly subscription. You can go from month to month base. You can do it 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. It is $50 a month and you get 5 to 8 beautiful tiered tray decor items, and they are just absolutely amazing. And each month has like a different theme, or like whether it is 4th of July, Christmas, that season or month will have items for your tiered tray that go with that holiday. So I absolutely love that. And then you also get a bunch of items that you can use all year round as well. So my box, as you can see, came, and I'm so excited to open it. And I will also let you guys know more about the Tiered Tray Decor box as we go along. So let's jump in. I opened it. I promise I have not looked yet inside other than like just now. You guys are going to see my first raw and real reaction. I slid it open for video purposes. I could have probably done that on video, but either way, I have not looked inside, so let's do this. Right away, I'm loving it. Loving it. Here's what it looks like. Now, like I had mentioned, I have seen them on Instagram for a while, and I do know that they like to put a greenery piece or a floral, something like that, in a lot of their boxes. And I personally love that. I love adding greenery, florals to just kind of spruce up my tiered tray. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of gorgeous, you guys, look at this. I hope you can see it right. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Let me bring it down. Look at this. How gorgeous. You guys. This pic is stunning. It like it has like a vintage almost look to it and feel, I guess, you know what I mean? Like I used to dry out flowers a lot and it really has that type of look. So this is gorgeous. I love the look of dried flowers. Actually, I'm going to put it up here on my shelf. My shelf that we made. Look how cute. And see, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to just use these items for a tiered tray. You could place them on a shelf. You can place them on a mantle. You could put them on a wreath. You could do a lot of different things. Actually, speaking of a wreath, look at this. It's not a wreath, but you can put it on a wreath. Look how pretty. And I love that everything has bubble wrap on it. Oh, see, look, you can hang this. See? Whether you hang it like at the top of your, over your tiered tray, if it has like a handle. I love this. Look at the detail. I'm sorry if the lighting kind of keeps going bonkers. Do I have it close enough? This is my first unboxing, so bear with me, guys. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at, here we go. Look at that. You guys, see? Oh my Lord. Okay. Loving it, Kendra. I'm loving it. And look how pretty too. I just think this is so pretty. Oh my goodness. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that I love trucks. The little trucks are like my thing. And look at that. That is gorgeous. I love that so much. Sunflower Market. And it's like distressed. I love this so very, but it's not too distressed. You know what I mean? So like somebody who does like distressing would like it, and somebody who doesn't would probably also like it as well because it's not like overly distressed, you know? That's gorgeous. Can we get it up here too? Oh, well, okay. This is amazing. I love it. All right, my hair keeps getting in my way. Let's go in. Oh my goodness. These are little wood cubes. I think it says, yeah, it does. Let me get it in the order. These are adorable too. And you could place these several ways. Look at that. I hope you guys can see it. Like you can put them that way. They could go like this, you know, this way. You could also place like HOME. Look at that. How cute. I love this so much. Adorable. All right, I think this is our last item. So another thing that I really, really love about the Tiered Tray Decor Box subscription is they have Facebook and Instagram where other subscribers will post pictures how they did their tiered trays. Whether, you know, it is that month's box or whether they have been a subscriber for a while and have accumulated several boxes and have kind of added, you know, things from each box into one tray. But they post a lot of inspiration pictures that I definitely take inspiration from. And you guys, I think this is what it, yes. Look, you guys. Look. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, that wood is amazing. Look at how pretty. I just love this. And see, that's what I'm saying. This could be something that could go on a coffee bar. It could go for a spring tiered tray. I mean, there's so many different options. And I love this. I love this. Now, I also have a tiered tray that I'm going to grab, and we're going to decorate that real quick. Okay, so I got this adorable tiered tray from the Target dollar spot for $5, and I thought it was just absolutely perfect for this tiered tray decor box. So here is how I would decorate using the items. First, I usually try to start with the bigger items, and I think this would obviously be perfect up here. You could also place it in the back down here. You could also even hang it up close to the tiered tray. That would be really pretty as well. Now, this gorgeous floral, I'm going to kind of poke in just like that. Oh, I love this. These little houses I got in like a pack from Walmart. I'm just gonna place them in the back like this. Super simple. Let's take our little sunflower market. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's grab our little blocks. Again, how cute. Maybe place those here. Oh. This succulent I have had forever, as you can tell. And I'm going to place that in there too. And you could use just the tiered tray decor box items if you would like, or you could add in your own items as well. Like how I'm adding the succulent and these little decor, like decorative balls, I guess you could say. Look at this. You guys, I'm obsessed. How absolutely adorable. I almost forgot the spoon. We cannot forget the spoon. And as you can see, I also added our beautiful tray that I made. And I'm gonna place the spoon right there. Super simple. I absolutely adore this. Another great thing about the Tiered Tray Decor box subscription is they post all of their other Tiered Tray Decor box items onto their website so that you can go on there. As long as you have a subscription, you can go and buy those individual items that were from previous boxes. So like say you just became a member this month, but you also had seen a few items that you liked from a previous box, you can go onto their website and buy that individual item. And I do also have a 10% off coupon code down in the description box. So let me know what you guys think of this Tiered Tray Decor box. And if this is something that you guys would like me to bring more of, unboxing or showing other types of home decor. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you all and a few new friends on the next one. Bye!